In this video, I'm going to demonstrate a proposed redesign to our MSL meeting brief. The intent behind this redesign is to bring harmony and standardization for the MSL meeting brief across the globe. That includes the US and rest of world on one common page layout, one way of working and set of processes globally. The intent is to simplify and remove unnecessary fields and clicks for the end user, create a more natural flow to how an MSL actually engages with an HCP, future-proof the system for products that have multiple indications, prepare for our clinical medical partnership, and enhance the end user experience by new features and advancements in the CRM platform. This is a proposal, one of many, but one that we really want to get feedback on to make sure that we have that mix of both future-proofing, simplification, and standardization. We have a number of stakeholders that we need to meet with to get endorsement and buy-in for this proposal. So please, please, please recognize that this is an option and one that we want feedback on. After this demo, please send your feedback to Scott Fultonier and/or Chris McKinnon, and we'd be happy to take your feedback into consultation for our assessment. With that, I'm going to show you the redesign. So as always, we're going to go to our stakeholders and begin our MSL meeting brief. As you'll see, the professional information is largely staying the same. A couple callouts. You'll notice in the US that we removed call source. Call source gave us the ability to anchor a call on whether or not it was an HCP, HCO request, or a commercial task. We believe we can get this information out via whether or not you've actually completed a task and through other metadata. It is no longer necessary to keep the call source, which was a mandatory field. We hope the one click will save us some time from an end user perspective. The next notable call out is the interaction type. When you go in to talk to an HCP, it's usually for a reason. The interaction type is our license to go in there. Are you going in there because it's an unsolicited request? Are you talking about the DINA or the SNAP? Is it for a proactive reason? Are you seeking advice? We believe a lot of this is known before we head into talk with Dr. Beagle. So we get to the top so that it flows with the natural progression of an MSL meeting brief. That is one big change from where you had it before underneath the interaction type section. Another notable call out. You'll see this gray box here. I'm not going to tell you to ignore it, but keep it in the back of your mind as I finish the demonstration. You'll see the utility in this. So I'm going to complete the professional information as I would, again with the removal of one field and the addition of another, and a placeholder for this last one. Moving on to the therapeutic area or product. Currently, for products that have multiple indications, or potentially multiple modalities, or different patient populations, we have been splitting our products up based on those subtypes. So, in the system currently, we have a Nucala EGPA, we have a Nucala severe asthma. We have a Benlysta subcutaneous and a Benlysta intravenous. PediRx, we have adult, we have pediatrics. Our pipeline is only going to grow with products that have multiple indications. Having the end users record multiple interactions against products with multiple indications is causing duplicative administrative burden. We need to prepare for this as our pipeline only grows with products that are going to be licensed for multiple indications. So as you'll see, we've consolidated and we will provide the ability to add your indications, your subtypes, in a later section. So with that, I'm going to select the parent product. For demonstration purposes, let's do PDRX. So you select PDRX, and as mentioned, we now have the ability to select our product subtype. We can select adult, infant, pediatrics, whatever we discuss. Again, for demonstration purposes, let's just select adult. What's our priority topic? What are the main things that we covered with them? What are the key initiatives that we want to discuss with our HCP? Let's do PA antigens impact. Again, in the preamble to this, we want to make sure that we're preparing for this clinical medical partnership. We're getting rich data, particularly on the oncology side, who has a robust clinical pipeline. Let's make sure that we're collecting the data that we need to inform in our clinical medical partnership. So we have the ability now to add our clinical studies. What clinical studies did we talk about related to PDRX? Is it the PED 0129 or 192? So I've now added what clinical studies we've discussed. Moving into the product discussion. So currently you have a question box and you have a comments box, Q&A. We've consolidated the two of those. One less click for the MSL, and this brings us more in line with how commercial works as well, where they have one box and one way to capture our comments, questions, etc. There is some training that would be involved. We would need to make sure that our end users know how to put in free text appropriately, making sure there's proper spacing, hard returns, etc., to get that data out in a meaningful way. But if we have everybody doing this one way across the globe, we believe that this is achievable. You may also notice, not only did we consolidate a box, we added one. But we believe this is a welcome change. The medical voice of customer. This is our most frequently requested enhancement to Veeva CRM. Currently, when you want to enter MVOC, you need to hit the ellipsis, go out of the call, and enter it. Now, hitting two buttons to go enter this may not be the true impact and the true value for why we remove this, albeit it is probably a welcome change, right? We don't have to go out of this. People frequently forget to enter this, and then they have to go back, get a call reopened, and it disrupts the natural flow of the way in which an MSL is engaging with an HCP. So let's move it into the product discussion where they are naturally having that dialogue with the HCP. Allow them to enter the MVOC into the product discussion. Again, there's going to be some free text best practices that we'll need to deploy, and we'll need to make sure that this will get out in a meaningful way and partner with our analytics team. But again, all achievable if we can all shake hands and partner and work as one across the globe. So again, these are hopefully welcome changes in the product discussion section. And last but not least, just to round it off, I mentioned before there's a gray box at the very, very top of the call screen that I told you to kind of ignore but keep a placeholder on, the interaction reminder. When you are done with your product discussion, you can leave yourself notes for the next interaction. Please remember to share updates on lists. Now, this is a crude example. It's not even related to PDRX, but you get the point. An HCP requests information for the next go around, the next time you're engaging with them, and you want to give yourself a little reminder of, hey, you know what, next time I'm in there, make sure we hit this home, or let's make sure we remind them of this. We now have that ability to put in a next interaction note. Once you hit submit, this will now be present for you in the interaction reminder next time you call on Dr. Beagle. So just to bring this all home, quick refresher. We've moved the call source, removed the call source. We've added interaction type. We've added the ability to have an interaction reminder. We've consolidated the products to be truly products. Future-proofed for our ability to add subtypes. We have our priority topics as we always have. We now have the ability to add clinical studies. We've consolidated our question and answer, or our question and comments. We provided the ability for a medical voice of customer to be in line with your natural flow in the product discussion. And we've added the interaction notes. Again, this is a proof of concept, multiple stakeholders that we need to socialize this with. We want your honest feedback. Again, please email Scott Boltonier and/or Chris McKinnon with your feedback, your thoughts, and we look forward to the next steps. Thank you.